October is more than just a month to dream. Many great employees are people with disabilities. But unfortunately, getting a job is still a dream for so many people. On this episode of Accessing Life, Chester and BJ talked to New York's Chief Disability Officer, Kim Hill Ridley, about an event her office puts on called the DREAM Symposium, happening October 28th and 29th. The DREAM event helps people with disabilities enter and navigate the workforce. A link to register for this free event is in the video description below. Chester and BJ also talked to Kim about other ways the Chief Disability Office works to help people with disabilities live richer lives.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Accessing Life. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest for the day, Kim Ridley from the Governor's Office, Chief Disability Office. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you so much, Chester and BJ. It's so great to be here. I appreciate the invitation.
Kim, can you tell us a little bit about how you got here and, your role as Chief Disability Officer?
Sure, I'm happy to. So I think at least BJ, you know part of my story. I have worked within government since I graduated from college back in 1994, so I guess I'm showing my age a little bit here. I went to work for the New York State Assembly. First, I started off in communications for about 4 years, and then I became the director of what was the Task Force on People with Disabilities, and I worked as director of that for about 23 years within the State Assembly. And in my final year there, I became the the principal policy analyst for the brand new committee on disabilities that the Assembly created. So I stayed there for about a year, and then this position opened up, and I decided to throw my name into the hat, and the rest is history. I've been with the governor since Valentine's Day of 2022.
Wow. Yeah. What was the most rewarding thing out of, those things that you've done so far? I know you have a lot more to do, but what's the most rewarding so far?
As Chief Disability Officer?
Yes.
There's a couple that I could mention. The first one is still a work in progress, but the first full budget cycle where I was with the governor's office, we championed a fairly significant expansion of the Medicaid buy-in program for working people with disabilities, and that made its way through the entire budget. Right now it is awaiting CMS approval, so fingers crossed it makes it to the finish line, but if CMS approves it, then the Medicaid buy-in program for people who are working is going to be greatly expanded upon. It's going to be able to allow people to earn a lot more on a sliding scale. There will be a bit of a pay-in because it's called a buy-in program, but we're also expanding the amount that people can save, the assets that people can have, eliminating the marriage penalty. So if someone wants to get married, their spouse's income won't count against them with Medicaid, and we've eliminated the age cap. So if you wanted to be working beyond the age of 65, you can still keep your Medicaid and keep working. So it is a tremendous hope that CMS approves that, because I think a lot of New Yorkers need all of those safety nets to feel like they are able to go to work and not risk losing their Medicaid. So that is one of the things that I'm most proud of. Creating the DREAM Symposium that we do every year. It's the Disability Rights and Employment Awareness Month symposium that we have in October as part of the NDEAM efforts that happen nationally. We've made it grow bigger in scope and scale each year, and I think we're bringing a lot of great information to people in the world of employment, which is a main priority of Governor Hochul's and a main priority of a lot of people with disabilities. There's a couple of things that we are excited to announce this year at DREAM that will go down as some of my proudest accomplishments, but we're going to announce them at the end of October, so that'll be a little bit of a cliffhanger here for today's podcast, but encouraging everybody to come out to DREAM. It's going to be October 28th and 29th in Albany, And you can go to the Chief Disability Office website and find all sorts of information and register.
I'm very excited to go to DREAM. I understand there's resume building workshop. What else is going on?
So I am so glad you asked, BJ. This year we are excited for so many different components of the day. First of all, we're going to have a very high-level employment first focus. As you know, last year the governor signed her second employment EO. This one is EO 40, which commits New York State to being an employment first state. In 2023, she signed an Executive Order 31 committing New York State to be a model employer for people with disabilities. So we're highlighting the work that is happening in that space. We're also highlighting the work that has been created by expanding the Partnership for Inclusive Internship program statewide. So those are three components of DREAM that we'll be very much focused on. But we strongly encourage all New Yorkers with disabilities to attend for a number of reasons. We offer, there is a job fair that is just targeted towards people with disabilities that want to work. Any employer that is coming to the event knows the value of hiring a person with a disability and wants to do so. That's why they're coming. We have a vendor fair that is going to showcase a number of our providers and our agencies, the work that they do within the disability space. We offer resume building. We offer mock interviews.
Will there be a discussion of benefits? Because when I talk to people about getting a job, they're afraid to get a job because they're going to lose their benefits, and that's a big...
Yes. So benefits counseling is another thing that we offer. And while it might be a small bit of information that you get because you're doing a lot that day, we can also connect you with people that you can then have longer, more detailed conversations with if needed after the event. So any part of a component of getting ready to go to work, it will be available on that day. So we strongly encourage people to attend.
Thank you, and we hope to see you at the event. Can't wait to be there and participate and help people find their dream of having a job.
I hope so. I think that's a huge component of everybody's life, right? We know that employment is something that really affects people's health and well-being. So putting this spotlight on this is something that the governor has wanted to do since she created this office. So we are trying to just pull in everything to have it be in one place for people to be able to come and get the advice they need, the counseling that they need, the resume building, the mock interviewing, and then having the job fair. In addition, we'll also have some fun components to the day too, but I'm not going to spoil it, just like I'm not going to spoil the announcement. You have to come and find out.
Are you enjoying this conversation? If so, Accessing Life has a library of helpful episodes on the OPWDD YouTube page. Chester and BJ talk to guests about everything from finding a job and keeping your benefits to making shopping more accessible for everyone. Hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell so you know when new episodes of Accessing Life are released. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to the conversation.
One of the proudest things we've done together, Kim, we've talked a lot, I think, is the accessibility to the Bills Stadium. What was that experience like for you when you came to visit Western New York?
That was surreal. It's the Bills, right? Like, we got to go and be in the stadium. This one, I definitely should have mentioned that. It's just been such a long project. Was that 2 years ago now?
Yes, I think it was 2 years ago.
We met with a good number of disability advocates and their architects and some disability accessibility geniuses in the field, really. And really got to get down to the very granular level of all the different components that the Bills are going to be putting into this new stadium. So cannot wait for opening day next fall, right?
Yeah, next fall. Yeah.
To be able to go out there and see the difference that we made there is going to be a tremendous amount of fun. And obviously the Bills are going to win when we're out there, right? That has to happen.
Hopefully we're celebrating a Super Bowl.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
that would be a great way to start next season. Yeah.
What are some of the other things your office is excited to be working on?
I think that both of you are familiar with the fact that New York State is issuing an Olmstead plan at the end of this year, which is critically important. I and one other of my colleagues are the last two remaining most integrated setting coordinating council members. For those of you who don't know, that council, we call it the MISC, is responsible for creating an Olmstead plan for New York State. There should have been one in 2002, and now it's 2025, where we're going to be issuing the first full plan that was put out from the MISC. There was one other plan that was put out in 2013 from an Olmstead cabinet that was created, but this is the first one that's coming out from the MISC. And we're knee deep in that right now because obviously we've only got a few months left to get it out. But we think that there are going to be a lot of components that are going to move the needle for people in inclusiveness in many different spaces. So very proud of all of the work that is going on there. I'm proud of the fact that I've built, when I started, it was myself and Kim Butch and our EA. We were able to grow that to 4 people quickly. It was, when the office was created, we knew that it was going to be made up of 4 people. But as of right now, we are a team of 9 with 2 additional people coming in. And we have a tremendous amount of expertise in all areas of disability initiatives, and I'm super proud of the team that we've built and the issues that we're working on. We have a brand new, well, it'll be 2 years old in January, but a deaf, blind, and hard of hearing office. New York State has never had representation for that community at the executive chamber level, and now our director and our full-time ASL interpreter are making headway in all different places within that community to know, so that folks know that they have representation and a place to go. We've done a lot of little things, but they aren't really little. Like we've done a collaboration with the Albany Airport. You guys probably know. Actually, BJ, do you fly here or do you drive?
Right.
Okay, so anyway, if you're going in and out of the Albany Airport, you would know that it's under a great deal of construction. And we have collaborated with the people that run the airport to make sure that there are all sorts of accessibility components to it when the construction is done. So we're proud of the smaller things that we're doing too.
That sounds great. One thing about the airport, though, I had a friend come in and he was visually impaired, and actually they told us at the airport that he's probably coming in on the next flight. So I went home and saw a message on my phone that he was at the airport and we were waiting for him and we couldn't connect, and we had no way of, letting anyone know other than I told someone that who I was there to pick up, and we had to go back to the airport and get him. So hopefully they work on that.
So let me know, we can bring that back to them. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
And congratulations on the award you'll be getting. I don't know if you got it yet, but well deserved.
Thank you. That is tomorrow. I'm very excited. I found out a couple months ago the National Organization on Disability is giving me the Judy Heumann Award, which I don't think that there could be a better award for a person who works in the disability space to get. I am unbelievably honored and humbled by the fact that they chose me to get this award, and your timing is impeccable because we're going down tomorrow. The event's tomorrow night. So
Well deserved. I became good friends with Judy during COVID and think about her a lot.
I never got to meet her. In fact, we were trying to get her, I think, to come to the DREAM that was right before she passed away, and the schedules didn't work. But I never got to meet her.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was invited to Washington Secretary of State's office, and she was chairing a committee on women with disabilities across the world, from across the world. It was very exciting. She talked with us, and when I was on the National Council on Disabilities, she worked with us on some initiatives. So I'm so glad you're getting the award.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I really wish I had met her, but I am extremely honored.
So, what do you want people to know about your office that they don't already know?
Well, I hope by now people know, based on the probably 3,000 plus meetings that we've done since we've been here, that we have an open door. We want all people with disabilities, any type of disability, to know that they have a place to go within state government at the executive level where their voice can be heard, and we will bring their concerns to our colleagues that we work with both internally in the executive chamber and within the state agency system. So that to me is the most important, because before this office existed, there was no place to go, especially for people with physical disabilities or sensory disabilities. There was no agency that just oversaw those. So while we're not an agency, we are an office, and we want people to come to us with the problems, the concerns, the good things that are happening too. Like, we want to hear the good and the bad, because while state government, sometimes it moves slower than people would like. We are rolling up our sleeves every day to try and solve these problems that people have. So knowing that we're here, I think, is the most important.
I appreciate the fact that we have a Chief Disability Officer in New York State, and you're doing such a great job. And I appreciate the time I've spent getting to know you and working with you on many different things, and all the help and guidance your office has given me with some of the tough transitions we've all gone through in New York State lately. So thank you.
Happy to be here to do that. I think it is really important that I wish every state had someone within their governor's office, within the executive chamber, to collaborate with. It's something that I'm hoping we see happen on the national level.
And hopefully, another state can see this podcast and be able to figure out how they can, duplicate it, or, even call, your office to find out, how it was put in place.
We strongly encourage that. In fact, that is one of the things that we work on, is reaching out to other states, whether if we have like a housing issue or a transportation issue or whatever it might be. We look to see what other states are doing, right? As if someone has already come up with a solution, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can figure out how other people have done it. So we are keeping a running list of people that we're collaborating with from a bunch of other states already, and strongly encouraging them to create some type of similar office within their government structure. So we hope. But even just identifying the people in other states that are working on the variety of issues that we know New Yorkers face. We know their states are facing the same things.
Any final thoughts you have for our audience today as you leave here?
Just like I mentioned before, to know that we are here, to do not hesitate. If you just Google New York State Chief Disability Officer, you'll be able to find our website, and feel free to reach out. We will do our best to help. We'll do our best to get involved in whatever issue is affecting you or your community. Happy to be a partner there, and strongly encourage, well, definitely both of you, but all of your viewers to come to DREAM this year and every year. Get involved in what we're doing. I think you guys are playing a role at DREAM too. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a lot, and it's not just focusing on employment, it's focusing on all of the surrounding issues that allow a person with a disability to work. We know that there's a number of things that we have to address in order to level the playing field, and those are the types of things that we want to hear and talk about.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming and giving your time and explaining to everyone what your office does, and, we'll be doing more. So we thank you very much, and hopefully at some point you can come back with something else that you're working on. Anytime.
I would love that. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Accessing Life is a podcast produced by the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, known as OPWDD. The producer is Michael Orzel. Your hosts are Chester Finn and BJ Stasio. To learn more about the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, supports and services, go to opwdd.ny.gov.